WEEI. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's KJ, and yes, at halftime, just third quarter just started. Celtics way up by 26. Punch them in the mouth, the Heat. Right after the game, we'll get your comments. We'll turn it to all Celtics once the game is over. Keep you posted. It looks pretty safe for now, but we've seen how things do turn for these Celtics, but I don't see that as the case. Jason Tatum has showed up. Nobody for the Heat has shown up. That's a good thing. Here's a better thing. For those who've been following my small journey here probably since February, when I briefly hinted that Bill Belichick is slowly creating an exit plan out of the Patriots. This is not like you and me leaving a job or even a guy I used to work with who, gets a paragraph after, several decades. But Belichick is going to get several years to kind of work his plan slowly so that way when he leaves, whatever care he puts into it shows up, or whatever care he doesn't put into it is kind of hidden. You don't have a guy who's the greatest coach of all time just leave with 2 weeks' notice. But I say, look, KJ, there's no way that Belichick is leaving. And then Bob Kraft made the statement. You heard it. He hasn't been happy with the results since Tom Brady's gone. Who's still around? See, I always said that, and this happens even in your workplace as well, is that you cannot have two kings in the castle. That was the problem with Tom and Bill. Now that Bill's been in the castle for himself for like a day and a half or so, all the blame and heroism will go on him. But what if it's the blame? What if it's signs of slight incompetency? Ask your grandparents what it was like watching Willie Mays in a Mets uniform. Bad. We're seeing some players staying too long. Emmitt Smith as an Arizona Cardinal. That's not exactly 10 yards. He wasn't breaking tackles then. Sometimes good things come to an end, and they're not always necessarily pretty. Now, KJ is not saying the end is here now, but it damn sure is near. And what shows that is what's going on with the coaching staff for the Patriots. I've been on this. I haven't got off of it, and I don't know why I wouldn't. It's kind of a fun train to ride because this is a rare thing we're seeing. You're literally talking about a coach/GM who's not really fond on spending, and when he did spend last year, the fan base was kind of happy just to see Bill spend. And then you realize the eggs that were bought were cracked underneath. Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar. Oh, gosh. Well, then maybe you're like, okay, maybe there's a succession plan in place. Josh McDaniels, he's turned down some head coach. Wait, he got another head coaching job, and he's gone. And you got a brand new quarterback who showed a lot of promise, but whose GM and coach would not pay the greatest quarterback of all time $25 million, knowing that when Mac's number comes up, it's going to be close to 40. So OTAs started today, and to me, this is going to be the most fascinating season of Bill Belichick's entire coaching career. And it all begins with the narrative of it's almost like who's on first, what's on second, maybe he's on third. Who's the offensive coordinator that's going to help this promising second-year quarterback? And stories that are floating that people inside don't even know what's going on. Look, here's Tom E. Curran says there's too much being made of about this play calling stuff. Play the cut, Josh.
Are we as lay people, Bill, maybe making too much out of the play calling stuff? Because from the outside looking in, it seems like the guy who sends in the plays working kind of in conjunction with the quarterback and what he likes and getting used to the rhythm of it is important. What's the attribute that you like to see from a play caller, whether it's Charlie or whether it's on down the line that somebody does well?
I don't know. We're all different. The execution of the plays, I think, are all important in the plays themselves. I've called them, I've not called them. Call them, I've not called them. so is everybody else.
Can we just be honest, Bill, this year? If I know you might be up sipping some mimosas watching the Celtics game. I'm watching it here too. But you have to realize that this is a critical mass point, at least for the fan base, where, the mumbling was cool when the winning was happening. What happens when the winning's not happening? What happens then? Virtually no one's ever really seen that. Even in the Cam Newton year, people somewhat understood. Tom had just left. There was really nothing there. You just grabbed the first person you saw with the one on their shirt, and you took him in. But you got like gold out of it in Mac Jones. But now moving forward, what is the plan? Now, today at OTAs, it's been reported that it was actually Belichick who was actually intimate with play calling. Now, if you're having second thoughts about Patricia or Judge, hey, I can give you the numbers that show that when they were the head coach of their teams, their offenses sucked, including the one that had Matthew Stafford as the quarterback that, oh, by the way, when he left, he wins a Super Bowl. 617-779-7937. Text line 37937. KJ, late night. We're going to 1 p.m. tonight. And it might be a party because Celtics are up by 30 right now. So,
1 a.m.
Yeah, well, 1 a.m. Did I say 12 a.m.? Thanks.
You said 1 p.m.
Oh, I said 1 p.m.?
Yeah.
Hey, make sure I don't put it on the timesheet that way. You'll never hear me on the station again.
That would be quite the paycheck.
Hey, but you know what? I have the mouth to do it. You're just like, Greg, just stop. I'm going to 1 p.m. But we're here to 1 a.m. So if you're at the game, watching the game, would love to get your thoughts on what looks like the turnaround that the Celtics needed to have tonight. And I will get into the whole Robert Williams spiel later here on Late Night. But back to this Patriots mess. So then, last week, end of last week, Greg Bedard has this to say. Play that, Josh.
Some things about how folks down in Foxborough feel about the muddy coaching waters. What are you hearing?
I don't want to make a huge deal out of this yet because let's keep in mind, this is a completely new regime on the offensive side of the ball. They could be doing things a different way, and there could be a lot of people who aren't used to the new way things are going to be done, and maybe they might be better. I'm allowing for that. But so far, I have countless people who have either been with the Patriots or are hearing from players on the team who they are alarmed to this point, and they've barely done anything so far, Trenny. And so they are really worried about the direction of the offense, where this is going, especially off of what a lot of people heard. A lot of people around the NFL listened to what Joe Judge said the other day, and almost all of them were like, what? What is he talking about? And so there is a high level of concern about what's going on with the Patriots.
I don't know Greg Bedard. I have no skin in the game what he says or what he doesn't say. But I just find Twitter, which I don't know if anybody's noticed, it's absolutely free. You don't pay for your opinion. Your opinion has a value of times 0 on Twitter. Who are ready to say, oh, he's making this up. He's making it up. You just hear Andy Hart just 15 minutes ago tell you who wasn't at OTAs. Yeah, you look, OTAs are optional. But when have things ever been really optional and you're still kind of newish? With Belichick, if you just got here last year, there's kind of a part of expectation. You should be at OTAs this year. You're still kind of new to the culture. Now, do we know what players or who the players might have intimated these thoughts about what is going on with this offensive coordinator situation? Players talk, so it really doesn't matter. And my philosophy is this. For those who think it's made up, look, if it's 1% true, then it means there's an element of truth to it. Doesn't have to be 100%. I love my wife, but I can say that she doesn't 100% love me. I'm sure there's room for like our child and, her brothers and siblings and sisters and so forth and some nephews, that nothing's a 100%. But there has to be some element to it. I have this saying. You can tell me whatever you want to the face until I see the receipts. Oh, my kid's doing this. They're doing that. I look at the receipt. I'm like, well, it doesn't match what you say. And so, as the conversation continued on, Mac Jones got roped over today. And here's his comments about Josh McDaniels' departure.
All right, so first inning,
Sorry, wrong one. One second, KJ.
I was going to say, that didn't sound like Mac. Mac has a voice that sounds...
Football is a new season, and people come and go and get opportunities, players, coaches, support staff. So it comes with the business, and I was fortunate to have a lot of different coordinators throughout my college time, kind of running a similar system. But I just learned from that and take what, the good from people that gave me the good and take that with me, and then just move on and try and grow with the new set of coaches we have. And we have a great group of players and coaches, and like I said, it comes with the territory of playing this sport, and I'm happy for Josh and his family, and we're excited to open up the next chapter.
That is the slow clap for Mac mastering the Stockholm Syndrome, or the woke syndrome from the movie Get Out. That's where that term comes from that drives people crazy. It's staying woke because you were so mesmerized in the element that you're in that it can kind of come off as a horror movie for some watching. And it feels a little bit like a horror movie coming. Because I love that commercial where like they're all hiding and they're like, why don't we get into the running car? In the Patriots segue, that would be like, why don't you get some like real veterans who you can match up with these younger guys? No, let's go hide behind the chainsaws and the and all the stuff that will kill you. Like getting Joe Judge to be the offensive coordinator, or Matt Patricia, or one of the two. It's about controlling the narrative. And here on Late Night, before we really get deep into Celtics, I'm going to get into name and likeness and name, image, likeness, because it's about control. And what you're seeing here is Bill trying to get the last gasp of control. The only other time Bill has not experienced any form of control with these Patriots is when that number 12 said, hey, it's either that number 10 or me, Bob. You know what it's like when you're at work, if that person who goes over the supervisor and goes like, the president's in town. Hey, I want to talk to you something. Talking about something that's supposed to be handled locally, but you just go way over the person's head. For Bill, it's kind of regaining control. Regaining control. And the team may look bad for it. 617-779-7937. Text line 37937. KJ Late Night. Celtics up by 30. You might be coming over here to talk about the game before the game is even over. That's perfectly fine. Get your calls in on the Celtics, what you're thinking about the Patriots as well. Hang out, because right now Josh has got trending.